Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Chapter 23. Episode 6, Judgment Time, 1. The Limited Random Items Box. According to the setting of Ways of Survival, this was a coin item that was sold as a limited edition in a past scenario. Ah, no, why is this thing here? The alarmed Biryu shouted belatedly. It was banned immediately after release. According to the original Ways of Survival, the setting of this item was quite complicated. This coin item was released long before the 8612 planetary scenarios began. It was a product that was forced to be banned by the Star Stream Administration Bureau. If sub-items were put it would unconditionally spit out a top item. This would have a tremendous impact on the balance of the scenarios. In addition, the price of one item box was a huge 1 million coins. The constellations were angry at this ridiculous billing policy, and the stupid Dakibi who invented this item was fired from the Administration Bureau. See constellations. It is like this. I don't know why it is here. Hit. Broadcast end. Hashtag BS7623 channel has temporarily closed. The delirious-sounding Biryu closed the channel and the voices of the constellations disappeared. I regretted not being able to see the reactions of the constellations, but it couldn't be helped. I looked down at the vibrating box. The random draw was about to start in earnest. A sword-type item will be awarded for putting in the same type of items. The random draw has started. The limited edition random item box randomly spat out items of a higher rank related to the item you put in. There was a chance for anything from a C grade to a SSS grade item to come out. In the end, it was all up to chance. The offered items are related to a certain constellation. The probability that an item associated with this constellation will appear is greatly increased. It was an unexpected message. But it didn't seem to be a disadvantage for me. Both my hands were sweating. I hadn't been so nervous when I bought a random chance item in an online game. Please let it be an A rating. A top-rated item has appeared. The number of available random item boxes is 0. The box soon stopped trembling and the faint light subsided. I looked around at Usanga and Lee Gil-young, whose eyes were shining. Shall we open it? Yes. We opened the box. Wow. Lee Gil-young was so surprised that he screamed. By the way, it really was amazing. A luxurious silver guard and a white blade, the shape was somewhat similar to Broken Faith. I immediately checked the item information. Plus. Item information. Name, Unbroken Faith. Rating, Star Relic. Description, in the past, it was the sword of the hero Kaizenix, who led the Gruziad during the Great Demon Age. The Great Ether. Dominance of Kaizenix allowed him to create a Blade of Faith that contained fire, darkness and divine power respectively. As an additional option, it increases strength and stamina level by 2. Plus. I was speechless. No, was this real? It wasn't a simple alphabet rating but a star relic item. SSI. Doesn't it look like a huge item? It really was a huge item. In the world of Ways of Survival, that star relics were the only items excluded from the ratings table. It wasn't just because they had a strong performance but because these items were special. Every star relic contained the power of a living constellation. The difference in performance varied depending on whether the constellation was the hero of a certain world and how much awareness they had. However, they contained the power of a constellation, so the relics had tremendous value. In addition, it raised the level of his strength and stamina by 2. When taking into account that a grade items increase the total stats value by 1, it must be at least a S grade item. Yu Zhongyuk hadn't obtained an item like this yet. I looked around at Usanga and Lee Gil-young. I can really have it? Of course. It naturally belongs to SSI. Usanga responded in advance to his repeat question. Lee Gil-young also nodded eagerly. I looked at Han Myungo, but he was just eating the leg of a ground rat with a stupid expression. He was muttering unknown things to himself. I thought he would insist on having the item. It was strange. You have acquired a star relic. The owner of the star relic is curious about you. The message showed that the constellation existed somewhere. Later, I would open up Ways of Destruction and look for it. Then we should go back. There are plenty of ground rats out there, so we can go back with just the magic power stove. But how do we get back? It won't be a problem to leave with Giliang's power. Use diverse communication and... However, Li Giliang's expression wasn't bright. Hyung, Ha! There aren't any insects nearby. Come to think of it, the insects around here had burst from the pressure when I was fighting the Dark Keeper. It was a problem I hadn't thought about. There really isn't one. Some of them should still be alive. If we move for a bit and use the ability. There were so many insects in the world that I didn't have any sympathy for the few who died. But Li Giliang still had a dark expression. Well, there is one I can actually call. Li Giliang closed his eyes and started concentrating. Dr. SSI, isn't this a bit strange? Li Giliang's eyes were gradually losing focus. Then blood flowed down from his nose. Giliang? All of a sudden, there was a loud vibration from above them. Dust started falling down. The vibration was coming from above ground. At this moment, goosebumps appeared on my skin. Kwang! Giliang! Li Giliang! Wake up! Yi, Hyung! Li Giliang's eyes returned to normal. Giliang, stop the skill. Quickly! The surprised Li Giliang stopped the skill and the vibration subsided. I sighed with relief. There were incredibly dangerous monsters running around above ground. There were numerous high-rated monsters, including the grade 7 rhinoceros. Among these monsters was the Insect King. It was obvious a type of insect just based on the name. You really? I placed my hand on Li Giliang's head and didn't say anything. He was about to call an Insect King from above ground, was he Fabre? We almost got buried here. For the time being, seal this skill. Don't use it unless I tell you to. Understood? Yes. Li Giliang replied in a sad manner. Now there was no choice but to wait. We will get lost in the darkness. Let's wait a bit longer and move when small insects appear in the vicinity. It was easy to enter, but the edge of darkness was a very dangerous place. It was a place where someone could disappear for a day or two if a little mistake was made. Then Yusanga raised her hand. If it is just going back, I think I can fill in for Giliang. How? I was going to ask if she would converse with the edge of darkness but stopped because it seemed sarcastic. Yusanga replied in a slightly uncertain tone. I have a similar skill. When I thought about it, I still didn't know Yusanga's attribute and sponsor. What is the skill? That, it is a complicated skill to untangle. Untangle? Excuse me, can I ask what Yusanga SSI's attribute is? Yusanga wasn't a character in the novel, so I didn't know her attribute. It was like Li Giliang and Han Myunggo. That. Yusanga made a difficult expression. It wouldn't have been so frustrating if I could use character list on Yusanga. I tried to use character list once again as a test. The exclusive skill, character list, is activated. This person isn't registered in character list. Indeed. But there was one more message. Currently collecting information about the corresponding figure. It was a message that never existed before. Come to think of it, I heard a system message when Yusanga used the interpreter skill. It wasn't something that was originally heard. Was it possible for the character list to be updated after some time? Perhaps. I organized my thoughts and decided to let Yusanga go. Forget that I asked. By the way, nice work. In the future, don't let other people know about your personal attribute. That's not it. I trust Dojka SSI. Well, Yusanga's appearance said otherwise. At the moment, I got an idea. Can Yusanga tell me about the nature of your sponsor? Yusanga bowed her head. I'm sorry. The words barely escaped from her trembling lips. Based on this level, it was possible that she made some type of promise in the contract. With her sponsor. Perhaps there was a life constraint in respect with the spilling of information. I didn't know what sponsor they were, but it seemed they had decided to raise Yusanga in earnest. It is okay. I understand. Thank you, really. There was no need to thank me. She couldn't tell me her sponsor, it made my heart tense. It was the desire of a reader who wanted to fill The space between empty lines. Then try using your skill. Soon, a faintly shining thread emerged from Yusenga's fingertips and started to stretch out. In fact, I tied up a thread when I got kidnapped. One branch of the thread was connected to me and the other one was connected outside. Maybe it was bound to Lee Hyun-sung or Young Hee-won. Let's go. There was no reason for Yusenga to have such a skill from the beginning. This was definitely the stigma provided by her sponsor. By the way, it was a thread to escape the labyrinth. This, somehow, I thought it was a constellation I knew. #BS7623 channel is open. I started hearing messages from the constellations again. A number of constellations have put a claim on the channel's transmission system. The constellation Abyssal Black Flame Dragon is curious about what came out of the random item box. They haven't seen it. What a pity. Damn. That bastard messed with my channel, hahaha. Did you stay well while I was away? And a familiar voice was heard. By Hyung. *****. You did such great things while I was gone. Was it because of me that you couldn't come back? Yes, it isn't unrelated. I got a warning from the administration bureau because the advertisement went on for too long. Now Baehyung's voice was only audible to me. It was the Dakibi communication that only the Dakibi could use. Of course, it was an obvious violation of the rules to allow me to use it. I have decided not to care about small things now. And I can go back and forth to the administration bureau. Rather, how do you know? About the random box? I found it by chance. Damn it. There are still remnants of the Black history left. Why is that box there? Black history? Wait. Surely that absurd coin item wasn't planned by you. As a reader of Ways of Survival, I didn't know this. Damn. If I wasn't greedy at that time. Wow, it really is delicious. What a surprise. Baehyung's grumbling was cut off by Young Hee-won's cry of admiration. 10 minutes ago, we safely encountered the rest of the party thanks to Yusenga's guidance. Fortunately, Young Hee-won and Lee Hyun-sung kept the boundary until we came back. You will recover a bit after eating. Well, I really think that my better is getting better. Young Hee-won seemed much better as she swung her shoulders in a test. The meat of the underground species actually contained detoxification components. Did you get a lot of things in there? In addition to the magic power stove. I got a few things. I looked at Lee Hyun-sung and said. Lee Hyun-sung put on and removed the old steel shield that he received from me several times. Now he was polishing the surface again. And again. It was like someone with a new car. The character Lee Hyun-sung feels a faint loyalty to you. Young Hee-won seemed envious of the scene and asked. Is there anything I can use? No. What is that blade? It is mine. Will you distribute the meat to the people? If they have coins. But, you are really stingy. Kim Dokja. Let's say that I have a strong sense of survival. As we were passing around a piece of cooked ground rat, the tunnel ended. The surroundings suddenly brightened and people started to be seen. But the atmosphere was weird. What was this urgent and bustling mood? There are 20 minutes left until the paid settlement. Prepare the survival fee. I belatedly noticed the time. That's right. It was already that time. It was amazing that the word paid sounded so scary. Coins please. I don't have enough coins. Please, a few coins. 100 coins wouldn't be a problem if they faithfully participated in the scenario, but such humans were rare. I'll give you 1 million won, no, 10 million won. Who will sell 100 coins? The price of the coins was soaring. It was funny. There was a ridiculous premium on money that had no value until the beginning of the destruction. And there were people smiling as they watched from afar. These guys already had enough coins. It was Cheon In-ho and the Kyeoldo group. A few women flocked towards the gang members and cried out. Why, you said you would give me 100 coins before. Is that so? I don't remember. What? I will think again if you will let me put it in one more time. How about it? Young Hee-won pulled out her blade and stared at them. Those sons of a bitches. The attribute of character, Young Hee-won, is about to blossom. The time had come for Young Hee-won. It wasn't bad if her attribute blossomed now, yet. She needed some patience in order to get the attribute I was thinking about. Then a system message emerged. After a while, the survival settlement will begin. Save me. Save me. The expressions of the party changed. Lee Hyun-sung bowed his head sadly while Young Hee-won bit her lip while holding her blade. Everyone knew what the price of the paid settlement was. There was no one here who hadn't experienced it. Dr. SSI. Then Yu Sanga looked at me. Yes. In this world, coins were power. A person with coins could obtain good items or good stats. Coins were everything. Several constellations with scenario recommendations have been added to the channel. The constellation Secretive Plotter is watching your choice. The constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband is watching your choice. The constellation Demon-like Judge of Fire is watching your choice. And I was current the person with the highest number of coins in the station.